Today, we're going to be checking out the YC Onion Hot Dog and a Bun Motorized Slider. This is quite a novel name to be given to a product. It's something you'd normally expect to hear when you're at a football match, but in this case, it's being used for this amazing product, which is going to help you get more cinematic footage. I've been using it for the past week on some interior shots and exteriors, and I'm going to show you some more samples of the actual videos that I've taken with this product later on in this presentation. Before we do have a look at the footage, let's have a discussion about some of the features. First of all, what I love about it is the product build itself. It's made of carbon fiber rails, which provides a very smooth surface, allowing you to get pristine slides from left to right. There are screw mounts at the base of each side of the slider, which allows you to put in additional support. I've got it set up on a Manfrotto video tripod and two Manfrotto monopods, one on each side, and that provides the ultimate stability. In addition to this, there are tripod legs on the slider itself, small ones, which allow you to place it on a desktop or a bench or even at ground level. And there are adjustments on these legs so that you can get a perfectly level slide. So in terms of the actual build of the product, it's absolutely amazing. Overly impressed with the quality and the way it functions. Other things to note about the slider is that it not only provides a left to right slide, but you also can go into pano mode, which I'll show you in just a minute. Panoramic mode allows you to slide and pan at the same time. So if you wanted to capture a very expansive scene in a much faster slide and to cover a wider area, if you like, you can do it in pano mode. So I'm just going to pause this for a moment and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if I adjust the slider settings on the top here, it's done by a simple twist mechanism. You can push the middle rail to the top left on one side of the slider and bottom right. And we now have an angle on that mechanism in the center of the slider. And if I press play now, you'll see that as well as sliding from the right to the left, we also get a tilt on the camera. So that's the basic functionality. In terms of what you get in the box, you get the slider itself. You also get the YC Onion Bun Motorized unit, which doesn't include a battery. So if you don't have any of the compatible Sony NP series of batteries on hand, you can plug in a USB cable to a USB charging unit, USB brick, and that could provide power to the unit. But I find it really is most convenient to use the Sony compatible batteries. Now, I actually didn't have any available, so I went and purchased the Niwa twin charger with two Sony compatible MP 570 batteries, and I've been using one of them in the YC Onion Bun Motorized unit, and I've been using it for the whole week and haven't had to recharge. Now, in terms of using the slider, you can do it all from the unit itself using the A/B buttons to set your in-out points, using the knob on the top to make adjustments to the speed, etc. But I find it's much easier to control the slider using the freely available YC Onion app, which you can download for iOS and Android devices. This allows you to set your in-out points, adjust the speed, go into video mode, time-lapse mode, do it all at the touch of the button. You can also set up a cycle so that you get seamless slides from left to right continuously, or you can do a single slide mode depending on which option you want. Going into cycle mode is great for those of you wanting to cover interviews where you have two interview subjects that you want to have continual slides left and right, and you cut in with a close-up shot in between those slides. So that's going to be really versatile for so many different types of corporate applications, or even for YouTubers doing product videos. There's so many things you can do with this slider. So I think it's a great option for any cinematographer, filmmaker, or video creator to have in their toolkit. Other things I wanted to point out is that you can probably hear, or you may or may not hear this, I'm not sure, you might be hearing the engine of that motorized unit as I'm talking. It's only ever so slight. So if you are setting up an interior scene where audio is paramount, you would need to make sure that your slider is situated a few meters away from your main subject where the audio is being recorded so as to not pick up this noise. But it's not overly loud. It's not going to be annoying for those of you in the room if you are using it in an interview context, but certainly it is something to note. There will be some noise on the motorized slide. By the way, you can also go into manual mode by taking off the belt, which is done very easily with the provided tools that you get with the motorized slider. And by doing that, you can just use your arm to slide left and right. But for me, the whole benefit of this product is using it with the motorized slide so that you get pristine, immaculate slides without any vibration or any variance in the movement. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that you can also mount this vertically. There are screw mounts on either side of the slider. In terms of payload, it supports up to 14.6 kilos when using it in horizontal mode. If you want some context, this Canon 5D Mark III camera with the 1.2 50mm lens weighs in at about 6 kilos. So it can support nearly 3 times the amount of weight that this Pro DSLR camera has. Obviously, if you're using larger cinema cameras, they can be quite weighty and go up to around that sort of weight range. So it's got quite a big range in terms of weight on the horizontal. On the vertical, it only supports 4.6 kilos when using the motorized slider, which is enough if you have a compact camera. Out of the box, you get a standard mounting plate to mount your camera, and you also get this little dial adjustment which makes it easier to put your camera on and off the mount. However, I find for most versatility, you're better off mounting a tripod head on top of the slider if you have the budget to do so. I've got a Manfrotto head, which allows me to make fine-tune adjustments on either side of the axis, which really does provide so much flexibility when I'm shooting out in the field, and it speeds things up. So if you're using a slider a lot, I really think you should also invest in some kind of tripod head to give you that extra maneuverability. And also, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, along with using a conventional tripod, having additional supports on the side is going to ensure that you get a really steady slide without any movement as your camera edges over to the far right or far left of the slider. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this review of the YC Onion hot dog in a bun motorized slider. As I said earlier, I've been immensely enjoying my experience with this solution. I'm going to be using it so much more in my productions here on the channel and in my corporate videos. I think it's an awesome piece of kit that you can add to your video creation toolkit. Highly recommended. And if you do want more information about this product, I'm going to leave all of those links in the description box below. To finish off the video, I'm going to leave you with some additional footage of some of the scenes that I've taken with this slider in and around Melbourne and here in my home studio. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.